Welcome to Unstoppable Female Entrepreneurs, where business expert and success coach Kelsey Matheson teaches you how to massively grow your business, navigate the mind drama that's holding you back, make more money, and acquire the skills and confidence to become unstoppable.
Hello, my friends. Welcome to Unstoppable Female Entrepreneurs. I'm Kelsey Matheson, and you are listening to episode number 3. Let's talk about money. Money. Money is one of my favorite subjects to talk about. The deepest self-coaching that we can do on ourselves is around our perception of money. Our perception of money as an external thing, as something that's outside of us, seems very real. There is so much in our lives and in our businesses that are tied up with money, and we feel that our thoughts about money are factual. So for example, take the thought, there's never enough. If that's a belief you have, that feels factual. But what I want to offer you today is that it's only a thought that you are choosing to think. There is never enough is not a fact. And I know this episode is going to be triggering for many of you, but stick with me because we can discuss hard things. We can dive into triggering topics. Let's get uncomfortable, all right? Are you with me? Because here's the thing. Our thoughts around money are creating our results with money. And the more we understand that, the better we'll be at improving our relationship, not only with money, but in many other areas of our lives and within our businesses as well. I love talking about money with women. And I love talking about money with female entrepreneurs because we all have our own mind drama when it comes to money. And building a business is the ultimate journey in our own mindset work, as I spoke about in episode number 1. As we build our businesses, we are required to grow so much. Right? We deal with blocks that we believed at some point in our past were factual. But then we do the deep work and we start to question those things that we thought were fact, that we thought were a part of our identity, that we thought were hard. And then we step into the new version of ourselves and we step into the next phase of our business. Now, let me be clear, up-leveling and becoming the next best version of yourself, I know that those are buzzwords in the self-development space. And I talk about this with my clients all the time, just to be clear, because that next best version of you, she's already in there and a part of who you are. So when I say things like becoming the next version of you, what I'm really talking about is doing the deeper work to move past things that you think are factual, processing the fear or the emotion keeping you stuck, and then unleashing that part of you. Does that make sense? I just had one of my one-on-one clients tell me that they more than doubled their income in their business last month. And what excited me so much about that was that those results were measurable. And I also have a workshop that I love doing with female entrepreneurs. We usually do it in a group setting, and I get the entrepreneurs to write love letters to money. It's a really fun workshop where we take a close look at, our thoughts around money, conscious and unconscious, and we do some mindset work on what's holding us back, and we dig deep into our core beliefs about money. Because what I found time and time again is that our belief systems about money are so ingrained that we can't see our own mind drama around it. It's like having implicit bias. Right? There are preferences and aversions that we have when it comes to money that are unconscious. And even though those beliefs and those thoughts are ingrained, we can change it. We can do the work to shed some light on them and to shift our beliefs. And that will help us grow as individuals. It will help us grow our businesses and help us serve more people and improve so many areas of our lives. Now, if you are multitasking right now, please stop and pay attention to what I'm about to say. Let me have your attention because I have a very important question and I want you to participate with me here. What comes to mind when you think about money? I know it seems like a simple question, but I don't want you to censor yourself. Just think about, or if you're playing full out, then please write this down, but just write down or think about the first things that come to your mind when you think about money. Do you have or want a lot of money? Why or why not? What are you taught about money? Do you think about the things it can buy? Do you think about having it? Do you think about not having it? Do you think about not wanting to have too much of it? That you need to be careful with it? Do you believe it's always there for you? What comes to your mind? Think about it or write down all the things. And as you do that, notice all the meaning you are giving money. Notice all the feelings that you associate with it, all the thoughts and beliefs you have about it. Because I hear so many BS money thoughts from my clients that are preventing them from creating the lives that they want, from building the businesses that they want. I have had and still do. I have my own BS money thoughts that I work on with my coaches in order for me to grow as an individual and for my businesses to grow and serve more people. Isn't it interesting that our culture has such an aversion to money? We don't talk about it. We don't talk about how much we make. It's bad manners to discuss how much money we have. Or if you like having money and you want more money, well, don't ever admit it. But it's totally acceptable to talk about not having it, or struggling to pay the bills, or not being able to afford something, or not wanting to pay a lot of money for something. That's okay. That's totally acceptable as a society. There are all these belief systems that we start to believe are fact, when it's just the result of a collective belief system that our society is buying into. As humans experience more ingenuity, we create more wealth. We create more opportunity. There is more abundance and we have more money. The more money I create in my business, the more money my employees make. The more money my clients create in their businesses, the more value is created and put out into the world, and the more lives are transformed. We are wellness entrepreneurs. It's almost like the opposite of what we've been taught to believe. Our society has this idea that there's this very scarce pie that represents all the money in the world and that we're all fighting to have a piece of it. When really money and ingenuity and abundance begets more money, more ingenuity, more abundance, and more value. We as entrepreneurs add value to people's lives. We transform people's lives, right? Money is just a fact. It's just something that exists. It's not good. It's not bad. It's neutral. Money is totally neutral. And it exists as a thing that humans have decided and agreed upon as a society. Like, I love it when I hear people say money doesn't grow on trees. And that's kind of more, I think, maybe my parents' generation or maybe even my grandparents' generation. But it actually does. Money does grow on trees. It's paper. I heard one of my coaches say, actually, that money isn't even represented by something like gold. It technically doesn't have any value until we as a society agrees that it does. And I know it's a little more complicated than that, but at its core, it's not that complicated. And our thoughts about money will determine our relationship with money. And our relationship with it will determine how much we have and how we treat it when we have it, or how much we don't have and how we treat it when we don't have it. So whatever you were thinking about money, it's creating the results you are experiencing right now. And the good news is that you can decide whether those thoughts are serving you or not based on your results. So here's a fun exercise to determine your capacity for money. What are your thoughts or feelings about generating $1 in your business? How do you feel about making $1? What are your thoughts around that? How about $100? Right? What do you think about making $100 in your business? How comfortable are you with that? How about $1,000? How does that feel? What about $10,000? How does making $10,000 per year in your business feel? What about $100,000? How comfortable are you making $100,000 in your business? Or $500,000 a year? What are your thoughts about that? $1 million per year? $5 million per year? What's your comfort level making $5 million a year in your business? When I did this exercise, I did it from the perspective of being a success coach. So I wasn't considering my other businesses when I did this, just my coaching. And I wanted to solely focus on that business because I do have a goal right now of reaching $1 million as a coach. And I realized, actually, I'm super comfortable with making $1 million as a coach. I can see it in my bank account. I can feel the feelings of making that kind of money as a coach. I can wrap my head around it. I know what that looks like. I know what I would need to do. Even things like taxes, I get it. I get all of that. But when I jumped to 5 million as a coach, I felt uncomfortable. I was like, well, That's a little harder to wrap my head around. And then I would start coming up with excuses like, well, I don't need to make $5 million as a coach. That's a thought. Why not? Think of all the people I would be serving. So here's the interesting thing about this exercise. We know that money is neutral. So I could feel the exact same casualness I feel about making $100 in my business when I think about making $5 million. I could. And some people do. Someone might feel very relaxed and casual about making $5 million per year as a coach. But for me, it feels way more uncomfortable. $1 million I can wrap my head around, but $5 million, oh, I don't know. There's some blocks there. There's some limiting beliefs. Now, if I think about making $5 million per year for my resort Anamaya in Costa Rica, I feel incredibly comfortable with that number. Even after experiencing the pandemic, that number feels great. But with my coaching business, I'm thinking, well, I don't need to make $5 million as a coach. How would I even manage that? What would our taxes look like? What kind of staff would I need to put together? Can I manage that kind of staff? Would that be weird to have, a staff for coaching? Makes sense to have a staff for my resort, but for coaching? I don't know, is that indulgent? Maybe I would screw that up. How am I going to manage that kind of money? I know it. I would mismanage it, and I'd get my family in some sort of trouble. Oh my gosh, so much mind drama. But here's the thing. Money is totally neutral. It's just the thoughts and the feelings I have about 1 million versus 5 million. Or for some of you, it might be 10,000 versus 100,000. Or $100 versus $5,000. Now, the actions I take from being certain about making $5 million with Anamaya are going to give me a certain amount of results. Then the actions I take from being scared and unsure and worried about making $5 million in my coaching. Remember, thoughts generate feelings, and then from that feeling, you create the actions that will generate your results. So I would rather come from a place of feeling confident and determined than scared, unsure, or in a state of scarcity. And I'm not even saying that $5 million is a goal for me in my coaching business. Right now, I'm focusing on $1 million. But knowing my blocks around it is really good information to have when I want to move the needle on my business. Because you guys could be working towards your first 100K, but if your thoughts are stopping you from getting the results you want, then it's your responsibility as a business owner to do the work in order to create the results that you want so you can serve more people and change more lives, including your own. So let's say you made $100,000 in your business. What's powerful is that the amount of money, like 100K, is totally neutral. It was your belief and your feelings about that amount of money that determined what you did to create it. Your thoughts determined your capacity for it. I heard my mentor once say, it's just as easy to create $1 as it is $10 million in your business. And I thought, okay, my brain can't easily go there. And apparently when she first heard that, her brain couldn't go there either. She thought to herself, okay, wait, how could that be true? I don't understand, right? And her mind kept spinning and just not understanding it. And then she had this day where she realized, wait a minute, the reason why making $1 is so easy is because I believe it's easy. I feel confident about it. I feel like I'm able to make $1 without any trouble. So what if you could feel that exact same way about $100,000 or $200,000 or $1 million or $5 million or $1 billion for that matter? The truth is you can. But first, you have to reveal all of the thoughts that are currently happening around those amounts. Where are we feeling uncomfortable? Where are we feeling comfortable? What are the beliefs we have surrounding those amounts of money? So as you know, I like to close each episode with a question to ponder until next week. And the question this week is to ask yourself, what do I believe about money? And remember, don't censor yourself. Don't judge yourself. Just bring awareness to the thoughts, acknowledge them, and then accept them. Accepting them doesn't mean you're going to continue thinking thoughts that don't serve you. It just means that you're in an empowered place to see them, embrace them without judgment, and then process them so you can come out the other side of them. What do I believe about money? And also, I wanted to quickly say thank you so much to those of you who have subscribed and reviewed and rated this podcast. I've also received some emails and messages from you about how helpful these episodes have been so far and that you're digging the content. So I just wanted to say thank you so much. It really does mean so much to me. I truly appreciate it. I'm really, really grateful. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, my friends, that is what I have for you today. Have an amazing week, and I will see you next time. Ciao for now. Hey, if you'd like a weekly dose of motivation, inspiration, and actionable tips to grow your business while managing all the things, then you need to get on my email list. Just head over to kelseymatheson.com to join my list, and while you're there, check out the awesome free content I give away. If you enjoyed what you heard today, please share with other female entrepreneurs who need some love and support. And of course, if you haven't already, I would be so grateful if you subscribe, rate, and review my show on your favorite podcast player. Thank you for listening, and I look forward to connecting with you next week.